say I'm sorry? Guys, instead of always saying I'm sorry, there are other advanced English words, phrases, and expressions you could use to better apologize in English for things you may have done, you may not have done. In this video lesson, we'll go through 6 different situations. You'll learn how to apologize in 6 different situations so that you stop saying I'm sorry and you advance and improve your vocabulary to have more meaningful conversations in English. Guys, if this is the first time that you're here on my YouTube channel, welcome. My name's Adriana from EnglishTeacherAdriana.com. I help English learners improve their English, boost their confidence to finally speak English confidently. Now, if you'd like to drastically improve your confidence speaking in English, make sure to follow the next 2 steps. Step 1, make sure to click subscribe and turn on notifications so that you get notified when I post my next video lesson here on my YouTube channel. Step 2, in the description below this video, you'll find my free audio guide where I share with you exactly what you need to be doing every single day to improve your English, to boost your confidence, to finally speak English confidently and fluently. These principles, teachings, they're easy to implement, but you probably don't know how to start and where to start. I share with you exactly how to start, what you need to do to improve in my free audio guide. Make sure to click the link in the description below, enter your name, your email address, and I will send you my free audio guide. Now guys, to help you better understand when to use which phrase in which situation, I've broken up this lesson into 6 different situations you may find yourself having to apologize in English. Now, the first situation you may find yourself in is apologizing for small mistakes. For example, maybe you've bumped into somebody, or maybe you called somebody by the wrong name. These situations, instead of saying sorry, you could use these phrases. 1, ever so sorry. Ever so sorry. For example, if I've called you Bob, but your name is Mary, ever so sorry, I forgot, your name is Mary. Again, ever so sorry, your name is Mary. Or excuse me, excuse me. For example, excuse me, I forgot your name was Mary. Excuse me, I forgot your name was Mary. Or I apologize. I apologize. I forgot your name was Mary. I apologize. I forgot your name was Mary. It is okay to use variations of I'm sorry in this situation. For example, I'm so sorry, I forgot your name was Mary. Or I'm very sorry, I forgot your name was Mary. Or I'm terribly sorry, I forgot your name was Mary. Now this last one, I'm terribly sorry, great, polite. It's a little bit more formal than the other phrases we've gone through to express sorry in English. Now some informal phrases you may hear in conversations in TV shows and movies could be my fault, my fault, my fault, I forgot your name was Mary. Or my bad, my bad. This is borderline slang. I use this quite often in conversations with friends. My bad, I forgot your name was Mary. My bad, I forgot your name was Mary. Or whoops, sorry. Whoops, sorry. This is a great phrase to be using in conversational settings. Not that great to be using in written form. If you're chatting, texting somebody, it's okay. But in more formal situations, whoops, sorry, not the best expression to be using in those situations. For example, whoops, sorry, I forgot your name was Mary. Also the phrase sorry about that. For example, sorry about that, I forgot your name was Mary. Great phrase to be using in conversational settings. It is okay also in more formal settings to be using sorry about that. Great phrase to be using to apologize in English. Now, the second situation you may find yourself in is when you have to apologize for a more serious mistake. So for example, maybe at work you did something bad, maybe you're talking to a customer, you made a mistake. Instead of just saying sorry, you could express your apologies more formally with these expressions. Phrase 1, I owe you an apology. I owe you an apology. Great phrase to be using, for example, if you gave somebody the wrong coffee that they ordered, if you're working at a coffee shop, then you could use a phrase, I owe you an apology. How can we compensate that? Again, I owe you an apology. Or an even more formal phrase you could be using, great to also be using in written form, is I sincerely apologize. For example, I sincerely apologize for my mistake yesterday. Again, I sincerely apologize for my mistake I made yesterday. Now guys, before we continue, if you love this video lesson and would like more vocabulary lessons, please let me know by hitting that like button. Also, make sure to join the discussion in the comments below this video and tell me what vocabulary you would like to learn in the future. Now, the next two phrases are great phrases to be using in conversational settings, in serious situations, and to be really polite and really nice with your apology. The phrase is how careless or how thoughtless of me. This is a really polite, a really great way to apologize, to show that you just simply made a stupid mistake. But instead of saying, hey, I made a stupid mistake, how stupid of me, that is a phrase you could use. You could use the phrase either how thoughtless of me or how careless of me. For example, how careless of me, I'll fix my mistake right now. Or how thoughtless of me, I'll fix my mistake right now. Another great phrase, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, I should have. This is a great phrase to be using in a conversational setting. For example, if you gave somebody the wrong order, you gave them maybe the wrong milk, say, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, I should have written that down. Oh my goodness, I should have, and I have. So you add in your mistake in this sentence. Great phrase to be using in an informal conversation, and it is very polite. Now, in situation 3, you may find yourself having to apologize for incorrect information. Maybe you've given somebody incorrect information, and this has caused some sort of problem. In these sort of situations, you could use the phrases, I was wrong, can you forgive me? I was wrong, can you forgive me? Or pardon me for my mistake. For example, pardon me for my mistake. I'll fix it right away. Pardon me for, and add in what it is you're excusing yourself for. Or I had that wrong. I had that wrong. For example, I had that wrong. I'll fix that right away. Or I hope you can forgive me. I hope you can forgive me. For example, I hope you can forgive me. I'll fix my mistake right away. Now, the phrase please don't be mad. Please don't be mad is a great phrase to be using in a conversational setting if you really don't want the other person to be really angry. For example, please don't be mad. I'll fix my mistake straight away. Again, please don't be mad. I'll fix my mistake straight away. The phrase I take full responsibility. I take full responsibility. Great formal way to say sorry in a professional setting. For example, I take full responsibility. I'll fix my mistake straight away. Again, I take full responsibility. I'll fix my mistake straight away. This is a great phrase to be using in email correspondence with your colleagues, workers in a work setting. Now, in the situation that you'd like to make a formal apology maybe to a friend, to a family member, even to colleagues at work, you could use some of these phrases. For example, the phrase, excuse me for interrupting. Excuse me for interrupting. Maybe your friends are having a conversation or colleagues at work. You want to interrupt them. Instead of saying, I'm sorry for interrupting, excuse me for interrupting. Or, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that. This is a great polite way of apologizing for a mistake you've made. For example, I didn't mean to do that. I'll fix my mistake straight away. Or, pardon me. Pardon me. This is very similar to excuse me. Pardon me for my mistake. Pardon me for my mistake. And I'd like to apologize for, and state what you're apologizing for. For example, I'd like to apologize for my behavior yesterday. I'd like to apologize for my behavior yesterday. I'd like to apologize for. Great phrase to be using in formal settings, in written correspondence, with friends, family, when you want to be more polite about the mistake and to sincerely apologize for doing whatever it is that you did. Now, I did mention some phrases you could use in written correspondence, but in the sixth situation, we'll go through exact phrases you can use in written correspondence in really formal situations. So be that texting, be that sending emails with your work colleagues in some sort of intranet forums you may have going on at your university or work. Now, the first phrase is, please accept my apologies, or please accept my sincere apologies. Great phrase to use instead of saying, I'm sorry, please accept my apologies, or please accept my sincere apologies. Now, a shorter way of saying this phrase could also be using the phrase, my apologies. For example, my apologies, I'll fix a mistake tomorrow. Again, my apologies, I'll fix a mistake tomorrow. Now, if you'd really like to ask for forgiveness, you could also use the phrase, I beg your pardon. Again, I beg your pardon. For example, I beg your pardon, I'll do my best to rectify my mistake tomorrow. Again, I beg your pardon. I'll do my best to rectify my mistake tomorrow. Now, if you misunderstood something, you could also use the phrase, sorry, I had that wrong. Sorry, I had that wrong. For example, sorry, I had that wrong. Let's try this instead. But if you did something wrong and you caused a mistake, you could use the phrase, sorry, it was my fault. For example, sorry, it was my fault that the fire alarm went off last night. Again, sorry, it was my fault that the fire alarm went off last night. Now, if you'd like to admit your mistake, you could also use a phrase, that was wrong of me. That was wrong of me for setting off the fire alarm last night. That was wrong of me for setting off the fire alarm last night. And if you'd like to take full responsibility for your mistake, you could use a phrase, you can blame me for this. You can blame me for this. For example, you can blame me for the problems last night. It was my fault that the fire alarm went off. Now, as you already know, English speakers say sorry for everything. I'm a victim of doing this as well. It's part of our culture. We just apologize for everything. But we also do use two other words quite often instead of sorry. The first one is excuse me. Excuse me. So I use this quite often if I'm pushing through a crowd or if someone's in my way, if I want to get ahead of the line. Excuse me, can I get through? Excuse me, could you give me some room? Excuse me. Excuse me. The next phrase I also use quite often, and many English speakers do, is pardon. Pardon. For example, pardon, could I get through? Or pardon me, could I get through? Pardon. Pardon. Not pardon. 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 Okay, but what if somebody's apologized to you and you want to accept their apology? You're just not going to sit there and say, yes, that's okay. There are other nice phrases you can use to accept an apology in English. The phrase, that's all right. That's all right is a great phrase to be using in conversational settings. I use it quite often. Notice when I said this phrase, I'm like, yeah, that's all right. Usually a lot of English speakers also shake their head, just brush it off. So we brush off that apology. It's no problem. There's no problem. That's another phrase. First phrase is, that's all right. That's all right. And no problem. No problem. If you'd like to accept somebody's apology for a really small mistake and it really doesn't mean much to you, you could use the phrase, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Also, another great phrase is forget it. Forget it. Again, don't worry about it. Forget it. Or no big deal, no big deal. This in Australia can also be shortened a little bit. We can say no biggie, no biggie. So this means don't worry about it. Pretty much, no big deal. But if you'd really like to tell the person who's apologizing to you that it's not their fault, you could accept their apology using the phrases, don't blame yourself, don't blame yourself, or it's not your fault, it's not your fault. Now, more formal ways of accepting an apology could be, think nothing of it, or never mind, it doesn't really matter. Never mind, it doesn't really matter. Remember guys, practice makes perfect. In order for you to remember and use these phrases when speaking in English, make sure to first of all, watch this video lesson a few times, apply the shadowing technique. If you don't know what the shadowing technique is, make sure to watch this video lesson to learn about the shadowing technique and how it can improve your ability to speak, to express yourself, and to use these phrases when speaking in English. Remember guys, if you like this video lesson, make sure to like it, hit subscribe and turn on notifications so that you get notified, you get that bell when I post my next video lesson here to help you improve your confidence speaking in English. If you'd like more lessons, make sure to check out these two videos to watch and to improve your English. Thank you guys for watching, for being here, and I look forward to seeing you in my next lesson. Bye for now.